Hey friends, before we get started, as always, we like to reward you for watching this broadcast. Make sure that you are leaving the comment underneath this video on our YouTube page over at the Kingdom Report on YouTube. The phrase that pays, Peter Pan's Flight. Peter Pan's Flight is the phrase that pays this week. Head on over to our YouTube video, this YouTube video. As soon as the live video is done, you can leave a comment underneath it. And if you leave the comment, Peter Pan's Flight, you are in the running to win your very own Kingdom Report mug. That's right. Between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, if you have left the comment, you are entered for a chance to win. We will reach out to you if you are the winner, in which case we'll get your details and send you your favorite color, and then you can have your very own Kingdom Report mug, Peter Pan's Flight, in the comment section down below. And on today's Kingdom Report Live, Disneyland has suspended Magic Key Annual Pass sales. I know. New characters are arriving right now to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Splash Mountain changes are coming soon. Even the star of the retheme is unsure. And Sci-Fi Dine-In over at Disney's Hollywood Studios gets a new menu. Disneyland Resort announces a new ticket deal on the heels of suspending the Magic Key Annual Passes, making the most of summer at Disneyland. We're going to talk about that. And the one Disney World park you would visit first, all that and so much more. Kingdom Report Live starts right after the countdown.
Come to this happy place. Welcome.
Kicking things off with a live look outside like we always do at the Disneyland Resort, all the way out to Incredicoaster. We keep moving. If you're watching, you know what we're talking about. We are panning, and hello, Space Mountain. Hello, Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, and hello, soon to be the Pixar-themed Paradise Pier Hotel. Maybe the Pixar Pier Hotel. Who knows what they're going to call it? I just know that I'm thrilled that it's finally getting an overhaul. Hey, everybody, it's Wade for the Kingdom Report, back with you once again for another Kingdom Report Live, here from the luxurious, the comfortable, the cool Warner Brothers Studios Media District in beautiful Burbank, California, right around the corner from the Walt Disney Studios, and in the shadow of Hogwarts Castle. Completely unrelated, but it's out the back window. We can see it from here. It's almost like they know what we're doing and are planning an attack. At any rate, great to have you with us. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on our YouTube page. That way you never miss an update from us. And if you haven't done so already, a thumbs up means an awful lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Don't be silly. Hit that thumbs up button. Be a warrior for all things positive. And hit the thumbs up button. It means an awful lot. If you happen to listen to us, we do appreciate that as well over on our iTunes page and in podcast form. And if you know a Disney lover out there that would appreciate what it is that we do here, share the thing. Okay? thumbs up, share the thing, do the thing. And together, Walt Disney will bless us from above. I have no doubt in my mind. All right. It's great to have you with us. Like I said, a beautiful weekend in Southern California. A little bit of June gloom, but I love overcast weather in Southern California. It is a joy to me to have some overcast weather, especially knowing that in probably less than a month, it is going to be 95-degree days and disgusting outside. So I will take this June gloom. But before we get to those hot days, we have to make our way through June. We got to make our way through our mid-70s, and I got to tell you, it's very hard living in this state. We pay for it, but it's very hard living in this state sometimes with all that beautiful weather. Who's we? Well, let me tell you. It is theme park analyst Tyler Crouch and travel agent Katrina Manzoni here once again. Hey, hey.
Hello.
Wow.
Can I say that in Southern California, summer is objectively the worst season?
Is it?
It really is. I understand there's a lot of people around the country who look forward to summer. They have to deal with snow on a regular basis, all these things. I'm sorry, but summer is garbage out here, and as soon as the sun explodes and frees of its tyranny, I will be a happier man.
We're on our way.
I don't think we would survive, but okay.
Well,
Great, we'll freeze to death.
We'll
That's
just
great.
we'll just live in igloos. You know, I'll make a coat.
Oh.
The coat will save me.
Out of what?
yeah.
I can't tell you here.
All right. I was going to say turn to the, turn out the back door towards the dark magic on the hill at
That's
Hogwarts
true,
and
you
ask
know.
them for some help.
Yeah.
See, I feel like we're attacking Hogwarts more than they're attacking us. We're like right at the foot of their hill.
That's true.
We're coming for you, Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Just like Voldemort did, but not as mean.
I
Not
want
quite as
McGonagall
mean.
to send down the what is it, the little like knights from around the door to go attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
protect
Anyway.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm out if that happens. So I'm not doing that.
Oh,
Yeah.
No one goes against McGonagall.
there's only so much that one can sustain. That's not it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
No, wow. Well, it means a lot to both of you could be here to talk all things Disney parks.
Happy to be here.
Of course.
News and
Always.
discussion. Always.
I'm ready.
Always. A real
Got
treat.
my suitcase and a dream.
Yeah, you do. Look at
Look at
that.
that. Wow.
Oh, little Mickey
Yeah.
got his top hat.
Represent
Huh?
California, you know.
His traveler's
All the way
hat.
around.
Yeah. Never forget the newsboys.
Oh,
Never forget.
R.I.P.
Never forget.
I'll have to
RIP.
add that to my shoulder, right? Never forget.
Yeah.
Never forget. Yeah, with the red car trolley coming back to California Adventure this year and this summer, as Disney has indicated, to lose the newsboys,
Yeah,
Never
you know.
forget.
our trolley friends, as we call them. You know,
I call them that all the
Great
time.
show. Yeah, the trolley boys.
Yeah.
Those little trolley boys. I remember you
gal.
saying at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually there's one girl.
And one.
Oh, that's
gal.
right. Yeah, yeah. Her and her newspaper. That's right. Well, we have an awful lot of Disney news to get to, and we are going to do that for you in a little something we call the Disney News Review. Let's go. Disney News Review time. Taking a look at some of the headlines from the past week that have piqued our interest from coast to coast. First up, Disneyland style. Well, if you are a Magic Key annual pass holder, then you've probably heard the news that sales have come to a screeching halt. In fact, Deadline has reported that when the park rolled out the Magic Key program last August, it was meant to signal, according to a Disneyland announcement, that, quote, you belong to the community of core Disneyland fans who all share a passion and love for the parks, close quote. There are 4 tiers of Magic Key passes, ranging in cost from $3.99 to $13.99 per year, with the $13.99 Dream Key and the $9.49 Believe Key sold out, which happened this past year. And as of this past week, the $6.49 Enchant Keys and $3.99 Imagine Keys were no longer available, sales being halted there as well. Current Magic Key holders can still use their passes to make reservations, and park officials said they would be permitted to renew their passes, though further details were not immediately available. The Magic Key program replaced the park's popular annual pass program, which was canceled in January 2021, partly as a way to limit daily crowds during the coronavirus pandemic. And Tyler, your assessment of Disney suspending sales at all levels just 2 months away from the 1-year anniversary of the Magic Key program debut.
It's kind of confusing. It really is. I guess in their head they think they screwed up, which I was always okay. So if we go back and we rewind the tape, we were always a little bit confused that they, for years we've been hearing that they didn't really like the annual pass program. They wanted to like change that up. They wanted to not have as many annual pass holders. And then they came out with this Magic Key program. And really, I mean, yeah, there were reservations, but besides that, it was pretty much the same program. Like, it really was, with a different name. So it was always a little bit confusing to me that they didn't make more changes, to be frank. And I think at this point, they're now paying for that, at least in their mind, because they're probably getting back to the same point where a lot of the people in the parks are annual pass or Magic Key holders, whatever. You know, let's just call it annual passes. Can we stop? Can we stop with the Magic Key, please?
It's a fun name.
Is it? I don't know. Believe Key. Yeah, that means a lot. That's not confusing at all. You know, Dream Key. Yeah. Everybody understands what that is.
Maybe.
Dream about a reservation. Believe you'll get it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I love that. That makes me laugh. Anyway, I just think that they're getting back to the same place they were at. And they're not happy about it, and they are realizing that enough people want to come in and they can make more money off of it. You know, they can make more money off of these day tickets, or even like they'll probably come out with, you know, more discounts and stuff down the road on these day tickets. And that's my assessment. I just think it's they messed up. I think that's what they did, and they realize it now, and they want more money. So,
and you know, you might be onto something here when you talk about, you know, they messed up or maybe weren't calculating things correctly, because the lack of transparency going towards this renewal process is so bizarre.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's being, well, it is complicated, but it feels like it's being unnecessarily made to be complicated,
right?
You know, and
so Disney.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There is no clear instruction. There was a message on apps. You know, if you have the Magic Key on your Disneyland app, there were messages on people's apps here, like last month, talking about the renewal process. That's now gone too, and so. You have all these different pieces of information. It's like Disney doesn't even know what they want to do. They seem confused. And now this is raising even more questions as to like, well, wait a minute. So if you have one, you'll get to renew it. Are you going to sell the same levels moving forward? Are you going to drop 2 of them and keep 2 of them? Like, what are the plans here? And being just 2 months away from that 1-year mark, to not have a plan, to not have anything laid out for your park guests, especially the most, and I think people need to understand that when it comes to the California consumer base, and even some people that have these passes on the outskirts of California that have purchased them, these passes are something that when Disney had the annual pass program before it became Magic Key, you know, there were over 1 million annual pass holders. This is not a simple, small demographic that's worth ignoring or acting like it's going to go away. Yeah. There was over 1 million.
And they used to do private parties for renewals.
Right.
Yeah.
They used to like have it whenever, like there's like during the quarter of your expiration, they used to have like a little private party they would invite you to, and you can invite like I think like one other person. So his was on one quarter, mine was on the other quarter, so we got to have 2 parties.
Plus ones.
Yeah, and then you know what happened when they got rid of those? They gave you buttons.
They did.
You got a button.
And $1
Congratulations.
refill popcorns.
Elevated experience.
Yeah.
By any regard.
For sure.
You know, I also wonder if they have been doing a lot of guest research and stuff on these things, and realize that a lot of people are very unhappy. Like that could also be another thing too. So I think it could go in a number of ways.
When they reduce the discounts, one ticket only has parking, the other one has 50% off parking, and the other ones you can't even add parking on like it used to. And then reservations are like hard to come by. So I'm curious if they're gonna like fluctuate. And then I don't know, like they used to do like the Max Pass where you can like add Max Pass onto your annual pass. So I wonder if they're gonna possibly do like Genie Plus. You can add it to your pass for like $500 or something, just to get a little bit more, because they may not even use it. Like we did it and we added it onto our passes, and then we used it a handful of times, but they're still able to make a profit off of it. But I don't know if they're going to reduce like more discounts. It's going to be like 10%'s the max, or are they going to start limiting it like they used to do in Disney World? Like Disney World annual pass is like a joke. Like you can show up and you'd be like, do you take annual pass here? And they're like, no, like not at all. Like no, like any quick service at Magic Kingdom, 0. And then there is like some places where you go sit down dining, and they're like, Oh no, we only do like annual passes for lunch, or we only do
Such a
it between
weird
like
breakdown
3
over
and
there.
4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh okay, well that's a bummer.
So
and it's like
bizarre.
10%. It's not even like the 20 or
Yeah.
15 we used to get here.
None of the hotels offer, like, if you go to the food courts at the hotels, they don't do it either. It's like, what?
So
what's
I'm
the
scared
point? It's weird.
Disneyland's gonna do that too now. I'm like, oh god, please don't take away my discounts, because
Eh.
it's nice because everywhere you go, they give the discount.
And I assumed it was a way of really tracking and data mining, going into this. Who's using the discount? Who's buying things? Who in the
Everybody.
Magic Key annual pass breakdown in terms of who has which key? Who's really buying something here?
Yeah.
Who do the discounts really matter for?
Sure. I think in Florida the difference is the Magic Bands track that for them, so they don't need to give you a discount, now they just everybody has a Magic Band so they can see the percentage through that,
How many
But,
people show up and do stuff?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you're tracked everywhere at Disney World,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the Magic Band Plus finally debuts here later this year out on the West Coast for Disneyland, soon we'll all be tracked. They'll know everything that we're doing.
So
but
great.
it's on its way, but certainly leaving a lot of questions unanswered this close to the 1-year renewal mark for so many annual pass holders. And the reason why I mentioned here a little bit earlier that there was over 1 million annual pass holders is that is a gigantic demographic of park guests that come to Disneyland. That no doubt, even though they probably sold a little less when they did the Magic Key, that was like their whole shtick, no doubt it's still gigantic numbers like that. So this is why we talk about these things, because this impacts a whole lot of people that come to the parks.
Oh, yeah.
That definitely those folks that show up after work, some people that live up in Northern California but that come every other month, that sort of a thing. There's all kinds of demographics here that make up this Magic Key program.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I know that there's a lot of stigma around the annual pass holders themselves, especially from folks that are not pass holders. We hear that an awful lot of individuals saying, you know what, I pay full price every time I come.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
And this is just going to divide people even more,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it really is. And now you have people who are in this echelon of a pass that you can't even buy anymore.
Yep.
So, and they're going to keep on coming. I wonder if they're at some point they're going to say, okay, that's it, no more renewing or what that's going to be like. But even like a few weeks ago or like a month ago or so, there was a scare that people that had dream passes wouldn't be able to renew at all. And I don't know. It just seems like bad marketing, but I guess they don't really care that much because they're still making money. So
Well, they know people are still going to show up. I mean, at first they slowly just took away things, and like what Disney does best, right? They sweep things under the rug and they just kind of like hope you guys they just stay still and hope like you don't see them, and then you can like yell and scream and be mad for like 2 minutes, and then it's like your child, right? You let them cry it out, and then you move on. And that's what like Disney's doing to annual pass holders, because like before they used to give, when you would renew, they used to give you a discount, right? They wanted you to renew because they would give you, depending on your pass, you would get like $100, $200 off, and then they would give you the party to renew as like a gift. And then they started slowly going to buttons, and then slowly going to dollar popcorns, and then slowly doing the weekly pin drops. Remember when they used to, or the buttons, the weekly buttons that you used to get, and there used to be huge lines for these stupid buttons that we even did. We're like, oh my god, we gotta get these buttons.
Collectors.
And so we would wait we would wait and like get the recipe card over at Food and Wine Festival and the button of the week, and everybody's like freaking out about it and trying to trade, whatever. And then but now it's like they don't care. They're just like, they're gonna get rid of the annual passes like they did, and then they're gonna like raise the rate. We're not gonna yell about it. We're still gonna pay for it. They're going to slowly, like, they reduce this pass, like these passes, like more than the old passes. They reduce the discounts, they got rid of the parking and stuff, but people who want it paid for it, right? The ones, they wanted the parking and they wanted the 365 access, which really isn't a 365 access unless you're really good at planning, and like they're gonna do it again. They're like trying to figure it out, and it's just really sad.
Yeah, I think we're likely to see a shaved down offering even further than what we see now, with significant restrictions imposed, and on top of that, gigantic price hikes in the process. So we did take a viewer poll recently over at the Kingdom Report YouTube community page, and we asked, Specifically, should the Disneyland Resort eliminate the Magic Key annual pass? This is our audience. 47% said yes, eliminate and return 2-day tickets.
How dare you.
So purchase a ticket per day to get in just like everybody else. 45% said no, keep the Magic Keys, and 8% said no, charge more and limit Magic Keys more. So 47%.
I think this really speaks to how upset people are about the reservation system. Like that's really what I think this is about,
Yeah.
because because you couldn't buy the Dream Key for more than, it was only around for like what a month or a couple months or something.
It wasn't very long.
And you know, that if you didn't get that pass and you're out of luck now, then you're going to get jealous of all these people who can come more often than you. But then on the other hand too, it's like day tickets had more days, like there were more days that they could reserve, like, whereas with the Dream Keys they were cutting people off on the weekends and stuff, whereas like a day ticket could still get in. So I don't know, I think the reservation system is making people upset, but I don't see how else they could do this, honestly.
I want to know where is the Magic Key program going? We certainly posed that question to you. Things are shifting again. We were here a year ago wondering sort of the same thing as to exactly how it would all pan out and play out, and how it would work. And we watched as one key after another started shutting down, with the Dream Key and then the Believe Key. And now all keys are off the table. You let us know in the comments what you think. We'd love to hear your perspective. And from there, we turn to more ticket news at the Disneyland Resort. In fact, the Disneyland Resort has announced a new 3-day ticket deal for California residents. For California residents, the new 3-day tickets start at $249 for admission on Mondays through Thursdays, or $299 for any day, including weekends, for eligible guests. They are now available for purchase and can be redeemed on any 3 eligible days from June 13th to September 15th, subject to park reservation availability, of course. And Katrina, what do you make of a ticket deal in the same breath as the suspension of Magic Key sales, and what type of guest would the deal be best for, do you think?
I feel like, isn't this like a slap in the face, right? Just like, this is what they do. This is like classic Disney, right? Classic Disney. It's just, they always like take something away and then just bring something back, being like, hey, we're doing you a favor. And we're like, are you? Because like, again,
Lessen
like
the blow.
This ticket is like, they always do like a 3-day ticket usually they always do it towards January, right? January to February, so you can get like the last minute Christmas decorations before they take it down on the 7th of January, and then you're able to kind of like enjoy it because they want to fill the park. So they usually do like a 3-day Southern California deal, and now they open it
Or
up to
a twofer.
like, yeah, and so they used to always get those deals, and now they're doing it during the summer, which is shockingly suspicious, don't you think?
Little bit.
I've never seen them do any kind of California discounted ticket June through September.
Yeah,
right?
Typically this is the time where they don't
crazy.
have to want for much in terms of attendance. But, even like Walt Disney World in, I would say, recent years leading up to the pandemic shutdown, I noticed we're doing discounts in the summertime, mainly because I don't know who wants to visit Orlando in July. But maybe people finally figured it out. We're like, let's just go in December. It's a lot nicer. But yeah, I noticed that there were discounts for summertime right before the pandemic shut down. And so, yeah, now we see it here on the West Coast with these ticket deals.
It's strange because, again, like with the discounts, the Disneyland Resort hotels have not done a lot of discounts, and their discounts have been kind of like on the sad lower end of the discounts. And so they kind of did them a little bit, but in the summer, like there hasn't been any kind of discounts for hotels, but yet they're doing this 3-day California ticket, which shows that they're fine with hotels and visitors and stuff. They want annual pass holders, locals, right? That's what they want, is they want those people to come. And so they're hoping that probably they're hoping that if they don't redo the annual passes, then these people will buy those 3-day tickets Monday through Thursday, or they'll pay a little extra to try to get a weekend or something. Because this isn't meant for visitors that need to stay at a hotel and stuff. These are meant for people that are it's easily accessible, that are easily able to drive or something close by. And then, because I feel like they would, if they did do this ticket, they would offer also a hotel discount for like California residents or something, I think. And so they would try to get a double, like a twofer, right? You get profit from a hotel and you get profit from a ticket. But I feel like right now they're aiming towards like families that want to have like a summer vacation, but can't really travel that far. So let's just go to Disney for 3 days.
And
thing.
if we recall correctly, last year during the summertime, there was the ticket discount because they hadn't yet allowed for people to buy the Magic Key passes yet, right? Because that was in August, so I think it was June, July. They had I think it was a 3-ticket deal, and so it was similar, right?
Yeah, I think what is it like? You bought 3 and it was like cheaper. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, it was like a cheaper because that's what like everybody did.
I think it was a 1-day, 1 park. Each day was how it was set up, yeah.
And it was and that's what that locals wanted, because they were like, well, we don't have an annual pass yet, so I want to get it in the park and go see it because it just opened. So everybody did it because it was cheaper to buy more, and then you would go in and enjoy it. And then they came out with the annual passes or Magic Keys. Sorry. And there's like a bolt of lightning coming down. But yeah, so I think that right now they're doing like the opposite, right? They're getting rid of the annual passes, making people buy the 3-day until they they're like little ants trying to scramble, trying to figure out what they're doing with the annual passes. So this is how they're able to make a profit in the meantime, have people buy it. And then they'll come out with annual passes with like maybe a little bit after, just so they can scare the locals and be like, okay, I guess I'll have to get a 3-day ticket. And then they'll buy them, and then they'll come out with maybe it won't even be Magic Key anymore. It'll be some other name. I don't know. Enchanted Keys.
Pixie Key.
Pixie Keys.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, that's in Florida though.
Oh, that's true.
Wow,
Yeah.
we can't take that
We'll
from
call
them.
it a
You
castle
can keep
key.
it. Yeah, castle key.
There we go.
Ooh.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like the Castle Club.
More keys, the better.
They're gonna theme it like
Ooh.
the old book of tickets and make all the Disney fans like get all excited about nostalgia.
A C
my God.
key.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
imagine if they brought that back, and then all like the e-ticket rides and all these other different ticket rides you had to just keep paying over and over to like what kind of rides you wanted to like do for that day, and they charged you extra to get on it?
I mean, they kind of do that
Genie
a little
Plus.
bit with
I
Genie
mean,
Plus. Yeah.
so I go, okay, you got me
Yeah.
there.
It's kind of similar, huh? Yeah. Will you let us know, does a 3-day ticket offer discounted, does that work out for you and your family? Is that something that you would purchase into as a California resident? As always, we love to hear your perspective, but we know plenty of people outside of California watch and listen to this broadcast as well. But for Californians, is that something that you would take advantage of? Please let us know. Other news at Disneyland is the fact that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is getting some new character infusion in it. Yeah, I can't believe it myself, but Disney Parks is introducing more characters to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as News Observer reports that at long last, characters from The Mandalorian and its spin-off series, The Book of Boba Fett, will appear at Disneyland. Well, you can spot Boba Fett in the land now. Grogu and the Mandalorian will be arriving at a later date. But don't worry, Boba Fett will not interact with other Star Wars characters with whom his storylines do not intersect. The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett both take place years after Return of the Jedi and long before the events of The Force Awakens. And Tyler, what in your estimation does the lifting of this veil mean when it comes to the future of Galaxy's Edge on both coasts? It sounds like Florida is being left out temporarily, and they might get this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like at this point they are listening to what well from just my anecdotal, evidence, I guess I should say. I feel like a lot of people just want Galaxy's Edge to be a lot more like Avengers Campus, which is to say, just open it up, let all these characters come in, don't worry too much about the storyline, and I think when we were talking about Galaxy's Edge before it opened, and we had all these great interactive ideas, and you were going to be a part of the storyline. You could be a rebel or a part of the Empire or whatever you wanted to do. You could play these interactive games, and there would be droids walking around and all these different, I think that would have been a cool thing, but they only came about halfway. They missed it by a great margin, in my opinion. And I think at this point, the right thing to do is to just make it more fun, because that's what going to a theme park is all about, right? Just having fun, kind of letting your hair down. And I think that what this is going to mean for Galaxy's Edge is that we probably will start seeing more characters that make no sense for the timeline. But I think it was a huge mistake, actually, when I think about it, you know, in the long run, of locking it into the current movies, you know, into locking it into the current timeline that we've all seen through, you know, from 7 through 9, because they, you know, this is one of those cases, I think, of the Disney machine trying to capitalize on their product that they're making and kind of do this like synergy thing, right? And and I don't think it worked out for them this time. I think that people miss the old characters. People, when you really get down to it, the things that people love about Star Wars the most are the 3 original movies. I think for the most part.
That does not 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
Just
no,
get that clear.
not the prequels. I'm talking 4 through 6. Because and that's who you're trying to hit. That's who they're trying to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not hitting that mark because they have Chewbacca. That's it. I can't think of another character that is in Galaxy's Edge that you know, people would identify with from those.
If he's there, if he's
BB-8's
around.
not in the
Or not
movies.
BB-8. I'm sorry, R2D2.
R2D2.
Oh.
R2D2,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah, R2D2.
If
But,
he's around.
I mean,
which
come
he's
on,
not.
could you imagine if? I think it would have been awesome if they actually accomplished being in that timeline,
Yeah.
but they didn't do it. So let's just cut our losses and put Boba Fett in, put Darth Vader in. Like, just do
Oh my
it
gosh, can
because
you
it'll just be more
imagine?
fun at this point.
That'd be
That's
really
gonna,
cool.
yeah. And I think they've proven that with like Avengers Campus. And Avengers Campus, I mean, especially if you've seen like Multiverse of Madness and stuff like that, it makes a lot more sense than, you know, story-wise. I feel like Avengers Campus still makes sense story-wise with having all these different characters than Star Wars ever will. But at this point, you messed up. Make it more fun, and making it more fun would be putting more characters in. So
I mean, it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to take it so seriously. Like, I mean, I just saw a TikTok video of the Dora Milaje teaching like Loki, Thor, and Ant-Man
Yeah, it's great.
on to
I
do
saw
like the jab and the cross and the block thing. You don't take it seriously. It's not like they're gonna teach Loki for real life on how to do this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, of course they're not gonna cross paths, and Loki's gonna probably want to kill them sooner or later, whatever. But just don't take yourself seriously. Just have fun. Like Star Wars, have fun with it. Like, have Darth Vader come out and have like the music going on, so everybody's like, oh my god, it's Darth Vader. And then have Obi-Wan Kenobi like standing up there, like peeking over where like Boba Fett now stands, just to kind of like create some kind of like weird animosity, and like have recordings of him being like, have you seen Obi-Wan Kenobi, blah 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 blah, aka Ben Kenobi. But no one knows that like they're related or whatever. But anyway, but you know, it doesn't, just don't take yourself seriously. Just have fun with it. I think a lot of like, I mean, we ran to go see Boba Fett when they announced it. It's
And it
not
was
like
cool
I'm
to
like,
see him.
why is Boba Fett over in Batuu? I didn't ask questions. I just went to go see him.
This isn't canon.
yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
And maybe some of the hardcore people are upset about this, but like I said with my anecdotal kind of timeline on Twitter and all that stuff, I feel like people want this, so just do it, you know. And I don't know this 100% for sure. I've heard this somewhere, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I've heard that like the actual Marvel Studios and stuff like helps put these characters into California Adventure, and maybe Lucas doesn't help as much, and maybe that's part of why you see so many more characters in Avengers Campus. But it's just, I don't know, they lack that. Galaxy's Edge lacks personality, and they've made
a
it
good
clear
way to
that
put
they
it.
can bring personality into Avengers Campus with characters. So just do it over in Galaxy's
With
Edge.
how many shows they have now, I mean, they can do it. They did it with Loki. They did it with Hawkeye and stuff. They had those. Every new episode, there was something new going on at Adventures Campus.
Very
What
impressive.
show's out right now that
Yeah.
they could be making profit on? Anybody? So why don't they do that, you know?
Why didn't Obi-Wan? Well, he changed his name from Obi-Wan to Ben, but why didn't he change his last name?
It's a good question, right?
I mean, they didn't think anybody would find like.
Don't ask
Nobody's
questions.
so general, like Smith or
Just
Johnson.
enjoy it.
He could have been, yeah, he could have been like Ben Smith, you know.
But maybe Kenobi is a Smith over there.
Maybe.
Could- Right?
True.
We've heard so many in their storylines.
There was a possibility there. Yeah, it's a whole land, a mega space on both coasts that was built for this franchise, and it was such an ambitious idea to begin with that this was only going to align with a certain timeline, for its existence. And I thought when they announced all that, I was like, well, that's ambitious. And on top of that, why split the franchise? Why remove an entire segment of characters and stories and not allow them to be on this planet you created that is not necessarily actually referenced anywhere in the galaxy, but was specifically built to host this concept.
Yeah.
So just let it happen, and if now that you're admitting that, Boba Fett will not interact with other characters, who don't intersect with his storyline.
That's fine.
Great. Okay, we can do that with more. Let's see it. Are you a fan of the Star Wars franchise? Do you think that this is a good direction to go? We want to hear your perspective. As always, please leave it in our comments section. All right, moving along here. Splash Mountain. We all know, according to Disney, about 2 years ago, in fact, Disney announced that a retheme of Splash Mountain was going to come and be rethemed after the animated classic Princess and the Frog. Well, they announced it and then got real quiet about it, to a point that I thought, is this even happening anymore? Because they just stopped referencing it. Well, this past week on Kelly and Ryan, Anika Nani Rose, the voice actress for Princess Tiana, ended up sharing with the world that sounds like the retheme of Splash Mountain is going to be opening in 2024. However, Disney has not confirmed the 2024 timeline, stating, quote, "We have already shared how we are bringing Tiana's story to life at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. While timing has not been determined, we look forward to sharing more details during Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans in July," close quote. Katrina, Disney's inability to confirm this timeline seems like they probably weren't prepared for Anika Noni Rose to share this information publicly, especially on a national morning show. You think this is maybe forcing Disney's hand in potentially fast-tracking this project? Because, again, I don't know necessarily. I don't think anybody is certain that they were going to talk about this at this festival very few people, I think, have even heard of, unfortunately, in New Orleans.
Seems kind of random that Disney is like, I don't know. Seems random.
Right? Yeah. So they're going to go talk about it there. I mean, I guess it's themed to the story.
Pay homage, so
Yeah.
I guess it's a good setting, obviously.
Sure.
But I think it's just, I don't know if just because she announced it, they're going to be fast tracking it. But obviously they've been working on it. But can you imagine? It was 2 years ago, and then
It's insane to think about.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
They haven't done anything.
And it's classic Disney, right?
Right.
They just sweep everything under the rug and stay quiet.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was just at the time where they, the Black Lives Matter movement was huge, and they
It was
felt
important
like
to
they needed
talk
to say
about.
something, even though they
But-
weren't ready at all.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure, obviously she knows because she's been recording her voice for the rides. So she I'm sure she's been talking to this stuff, to them about all of this stuff. And so she kind of knows that maybe the recordings are all done. And then she's like, well, maybe it'll take a couple years after this. I've done it for 2 years, or who knows how long she's been doing voiceovers or voice recordings for it. But, and then, Disney making an announcement in New Orleans. I think that's great. I think that's a really good setting to do it instead of at D23. I think that's more important to do it in New Orleans to actually honor that culture, because it's a completely different culture over there. And I think that they deserve it, not D23. But I hope that they do it justice and not just do this for some last minute, oh gosh, she said something, now we have to say something. I'm sure they had that in the bag and she kind of just let it slip. It's kind of like Tom Holland, right? She probably pulled a Tom Holland, right? She's kind of whoop, let it slip, saying 2024.
We can't trust her to talk publicly anymore.
I know, they're going to have to sit her with, what's his name? Bruce. Oh my God, what's
Mark
his name?
Ruffalo?
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo. Because every interview, Tom Holland's always with Mark Ruffalo now because he's the one that silences him. Anyway, so
Daddy Hulk.
yeah, so so I think what she did was probably a little slip, but I think maybe it'll keep the ball rolling for Disney, putting pressure on Disney to actually keep it going.
Yeah.
And hopefully it gives pressure for when they do make the announcement at this event that they do this ride justice and they don't just do a bad overlay.
Yeah, with all these years waiting now. You're gonna take this,
Come on, engineers.
right? You're gonna take this cornerstone ride of both Disneyland Park and Magic Kingdom Park and not do something spectacular? You better. We're all anticipating something truly spectacular to come with the Princess and the Frog retheme. So you've had some time. Now go do. That's what we want to see. Moving along here to Walt Disney World, some news on the front of the Finding Nemo show that is set to debut here very shortly over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Well, guess what? Blog Mickey is reporting that guests looking to skip the wait for the new Finding Nemo, the Big Blue, and beyond at Disney's Animal Kingdom will be able to do so beginning June 13th. According to Disney, the new show will be added to the Disney Genie Plus service on June the 13th. And so you now have an option, it looks like, to book a Lightning Lane, a pass on in to see Finding Nemo, the Big Blue, and beyond. Certainly a show that in its previous incarnation was one that I always love to stop at and check out. Don't think I would use a fast pass, or in this case a Genie Plus credit, in order to enjoy it, because typically these shows, especially the auditoriums, they can hold a lot of people. And so outside of just skipping the initial wait, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe of waiting in a big crowd with people to get in, typically they admit everyone. So I don't know if I would necessarily waste a credit on that. And moving ahead here, over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, we also have some news when it comes to a new menu being debuted. How about that? Yeah, Sci-Fi Dine-In, that wonderful venue where you can drop on into your own vehicle and watch classic, terrible 50s reel-to-reel advertisements. They have a new menu being offered. It is exciting to say the least. My News 13 reports that Disney is reported changing the menu at Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater Restaurant, the eatery at Hollywood Studios that features a retro drive-in theme. Appetizers include sci-fi smoked wings, tossed in porter barbecue sauce, and served with house-made pineapple and poppy seed coleslaw. Spinach and artichoke dip served with house-made chips. Black garlic Caesar salad served with toasted crostini and grilled chicken citrus salad. The menu will also feature new entree options, including the feature film burger, surf and turf, a twist on the classic beef burger topped with a shrimp and crab cake. The pork on pork burger, an item that was featured on the old menu, will remain. And the dessert menu, there's the Red Planet, a white chocolate cheesecake with blueberry compote, or the Out of This World Sci-Fi Swirl, a pineapple mousse with passion fruit swirl, and a spiced lime garnish.
I'm hungry.
Compote.
Yes, compote. I was a restaurant manager for many years. I always said compote to make people laugh, so don't think I'm stupid.
Sorry.
It's compote. At any rate, it's certainly a restaurant that is booked out oftentimes at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Very popular. But Katrina, for those that haven't been there, share what this dining experience might be like. Obviously, we've referenced it here, and whether or not you think these new menu changes are a step up or maybe a step back for the unique eatery.
I see. Okay, like it's a drive-in, right? So it's supposed to be like a burger theme, easy peasy. I don't like the new plates that they started on in the picture. I don't know. It's like me. But
that could just be promotional.
I hope
plates,
so.
But
I don't know. But I always thought, it's just fun. Like the pasta's weird. Like to put it in like for a 50s, like a 50s drive-in.
Yeah, hey, every time you went to the drive-in, you ate a bunch of pasta.
Right? It was like salmon or
Very
chicken.
common.
It was so weird. And like I enjoy it. Like I think that it's like really fun. I know Tyler has like a huge tie to the drive-in because I like, it, and he got me kind of into it. Like it was fun, but it's hard to get a reservation there, man. Like, and but you love it going there.
I mean, when I think about the Sci-Fi Dine-In, I think about my father who, is no longer with us. And when I was younger, he took me on an amazing vacation to Disney World, and we ate there so many times, because even going back even further, when I was a kid, we still had a drive-in, like 6 or 7 miles away from us that we would actually go to. So I've been to the drive-in as a kid. And then we also were huge fans of, Mystery Science Theater 3000 and everything. So kind of like if you're a fan of the drive-in and you're a fan of Mystery Science Theater, they kind of took both of those and put them together because it's like these silly movies that they're putting up at the drive-in, and you get to relive it. And
you sit in fun cars.
Yeah, you sit in the fun car and everything.
It's cute.
And the worst part about this restaurant has always been the food. So and not to say it's like horrible, but it's just not great.
Mediocre.
I mean, I liked my random. They gave me like it was supposed to be like a salmon, I don't know, a salmon sandwich or something, a salmon wrap. It was like or whatever. And they're like, oh, we can make it gluten-free. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. And they gave me like a literal pizza crust, right? It's like a pizza crust, like this big. And then they just put like salmon and all the other accoutrements and like folded it over it. And it was massive. And I was so happy.
You really liked it, I remember.
It was so tasty. But it just made me laugh. Like, oh, we could do that gluten free. And it's like a pizza crust and salmon. But it was enjoyable. Like I can't speak for the other glutinous food, but mine was really tasty.
Yeah. And I'm glad they kept like the onion rings with the horseradish sauce and stuff, because that's one of my favorites. But the place is, if you've never been, it's a really fun place to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they've updated the menu, and hopefully, it's a little bit higher quality now, and I think it'll be good for everybody.
I hope so. And it'll be fun to teach like the younger generation what like a drive-in would be, like what it would look like, because you're technically inside, but you're outside watching, eating in cars, and then you're watching like crazy sci-fi movies that you're like, how are these real?
Part of the charm. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can snag a reservation, totally worth it, especially now with the new menu. Check it out. As always, if you can get that reservation, we want to hear about it. Tell us what that experience is like with this new menu. Leave it in our comments. We would appreciate it. All right, you stick around. More Kingdom Report Live for you next. Remember those carefree days of childhood where the magic still existed? When you didn't feel guilty about eating mountains of cereal with, we'll just say, questionable nutrition? Well, now you can have your cereal and you can eat it too. Because Magic Spoon has re-engineered that same great taste with grown-up ingredients for an absolutely game-changing Cereal 2.0. I adore cereal. I treasure cereal. It's one of my favorite things to eat, but I just can't justify eating mounds of sugar in every bowl. I don't need to worry about that with Magic Spoon, because it's high protein, low carb, and 0 grams of sugar in each serving. I know, it's hard to believe, but it also comes in 6 delicious flavors: frosted, fruity, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, and peanut butter. Plus, they've got limited edition flavors released throughout the year, like gingerbread or peaches and cream. So taste that magic of childhood all over again and get yourself some Magic Spoon cereal. Plus, take $5 off your order at checkout. All you got to do is insert the promo code Kingdom Team. That's right, Kingdom Team at checkout will get you $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com. That's magicspoon.com. Promo code Kingdom Team. Well, it is time for the Disney List. Taking a look at some of the best and worst of the Disney theme parks from coast to coast. Today's Disney List is all about how to make the most of summertime at the Disneyland Resort. Oh, yeah. Are you feeling the heat? Huh? Are you feeling it? You got your big gulp? Are you ready? Sunscreen on that face? Don't burn my nose. No, not the bridge.
The rest is okay, though.
The rest is fine. Got my red cheeks and my red forehead. How do you make the most of summer at the Disneyland Resort? Here to talk about it today, Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni, sharing their thoughts as to just how Disneyland can be even more special this time of year. Tyler, 2 ways you make the most of summertime at Disneyland.
I mean, I will start this with saying I am definitely privileged. I get to go to Disneyland pretty often. I
Even during summer?
Even during summer.
Okay.
Even during the objectively worst time of year in Southern California. I'm very privileged, and I understand that, and I don't want anybody getting upset at me, but I will say that one of my favorite things to do, especially during the summer, is just like have a day to relax at the resort. Like, you don't have to go on all these rides and race around everywhere. I think sometimes it's nice to just, especially when it's a hot day, just take it in. Maybe go to Lamplight Lounge and if you don't drink, just have some nachos or something and just sit and enjoy the breeze by the water. you know, or even if you're feeling fancy and you want to get a room at one of the hotels and like sit by the pool all day. I mean, I think just relaxing at the resort is underrated sometimes because you just go, you know, a lot of people go and they think, oh, I just need to get everything done today. I need to go on all these rides. And I think sometimes it's fun just to take a relaxing day, maybe sit on a bench, watch some, you know, do some people watching. I think that's a good way to enjoy the resort as a whole, is just take it easy.
Take it nice and slow.
Nice and slow, low and slow.
Let
Like
that
barbecue.
sunburn seep in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
not
will
on the
be
bridge.
barbecue
But not on the
soon.
bridge.
No.
No.
Yeah.
On the bridge of that nose.
And then I think for my other one I feel like is kind of a no-brainer that everybody's like, well, duh. I mean, but I think, you know, focus on those water rides. I think like that's kind of everybody kind of really already does that, right? I mean, I know that the lines get crazy in summer for things like Grizzly River Run and Splash Mountain and things like that. But, you know, maybe even do some Genie Plus and maybe Splash Mountain, sit in that front row, you know, get your hair a little wet. You know what I mean? Because that's really the time to do it, is during these summer months. And I think that you know, just don't get your shoes wet, and you'll have a great day just with a little bit of wetness on you.
Bring
and,
some baggies, put them on
you
your
know.
shoes,
There
Yeah.
you go.
keep them dry.
Be smart about it.
Yeah, be smart about it, you know. Lift those feet up when you go down the hill, you know. But I think those are kind of the two things that I think of during the summer is, you know, just relaxing, maybe do a couple water rides, and call it a day.
It's always nice to get that Grizzly River Run. What we'll call it an avalanche of water when you come dropping down.
Yes, it's a reverse
into
flash flood.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's nice to be completely drenched, especially if you're sitting in the right seat. You know, sometimes certain
You
people
know,
get it more than others.
That one's more like playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, you know, I just want to get a little bit wet today, and you have no control. There is no paddles. There's no front or back row. It's kind of like you're playing with fate at that moment. But you know what? Sometimes on a summer day, it doesn't really matter that much. You do want to get, you know, more wet. Maybe you'll be disappointed if you didn't get wet, you know.
And as always, we know you like to encourage people to take a dip in the small world flume, right?
Oh my gosh.
Jump
You know-
out of the boat and take a swim.
You know, you promised you would never bring this up.
I
But,
forgot now.
But okay, it's out.
It's been
in
a
the
while.
open. I mean,
Yeah.
one time I stripped down and jumped in the flume. I'm sorry, everybody.
He loves the waters of the world.
What can I
we
say? I
Yeah.
wanted to. I mean, they did put all the waters of the world in there years ago, and I still believe there's a little bit left in there.
Yeah, Fountain of
still
Youth,
there.
he called it,
That's
just
what I
before he
did.
jumped in. Yeah,
And
It's
I
quite an
said, and I
experience, huh?
yelled, "You'll never catch me alive."
yeah. And look at him. He's alive.
I'm still
hasn't
here.
been caught.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Never jump out of a boat on It's a Small World.
Yeah, but whoa. Okay, sure.
Well,
Definitely not on Grizzly River Run.
yeah,
Never
right.
jump out of a boat on Grizzly River Run.
Oh my gosh.
that goes without saying, Tyler.
Yeah,
Please,
come on,
come
please.
on.
What am I
Everybody
saying?
knows that. Wow. And Katrina, some of the best ways to make the most
Yes.
of summertime at Disneyland. What do you got?
Summer.
Mm.
Summer.
In
It's so
summer.
beautiful. So, what are you going to sing?
Oh, you
Go
don't
ahead,
like
sing.
Olaf?
No, I was gonna say it's not that beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, whatever. It is beautiful here and there, but, you know, in moderation.
Yes.
Protect that bridge, right? Am I right?
Protect it.
Everything else is fine. It's game. So my two, right? Everybody loves nighttime shows. It's great. It's hot outside. You've been running around and you just want to sit back, relax, and watch a show, right?
Take it in.
But you don't watch the first showing of the shows of like Fantasmic and like Main Street Electrical Parade. Like for me, I always love the second showing of the Main Street Electrical Parade because everybody's too tired and they go home. So you are not going to go home and you are not tired. You're going to sit down and watch the second showing
Sprawl out.
because it's easy to find a spot to watch it. Like you don't have to wait. If you're a person like me, during that first showing, you ride rides, you have fun, and then the second showing, you sit your butt on the curb and you wait.
Mm.
And it's so fun. It's like that reminds me of summer. Is like it screams summer. Is like Main Street Electrical Parade at night.
It is very
Second
summer
showing, right?
centric. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super great. I love it. And then my second one is when sometimes it gets very hot. And a lot of people don't know that, like in Southern California, our clouds burn off. It's weird. I know a lot of people think that's crazy for me to say, but it's true. Like in the morning, it's like overcast and stuff, and then it just burns off, and then you burn alive because it's really hot.
Protect the bridge.
So protect the bridge. Bring your sunscreen.
Right.
But
they
sometimes
said it on Star Trek, and I say it in summer.
Protect the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So anyway, but you want to do rides and everything in the morning, so you're going to enjoy it because it's overcast with your kids, but then it starts getting a little hot, right?
Yeah.
You're like, ugh. So you need to cool off, and your kids need to take probably a little nap, get them out of the sun. Where do you go? Animation Academy.
Whoa.
Wow.
What?
Because it's fun. You keep them busy. They're in air conditioning. There's no sun hurting your bridge of your nose.
Right.
And then they can just wander around in that whole building, relax. You can charge your phone if you need to. You can let them run around and sing songs. And then you can go watch. Is Turtle? I don't know if Turtle Talk is even running right now.
It
though.
is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go watch Crush.
Yep.
Talk about
Go
stuff.
hang out with Crush.
Crush the Turtle. So, and then it keeps your kids active and still, you still feel like you're enjoying your vacation, but you're still in air conditioning just for maybe an hour or so. And then you go back out and deal with the heat.
The heat.
Yeah, and they play a lot of Frozen in there too, so you can really feel the snow. You can believe you're there,
Because you'll be like, brr,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a jacket. And then you walk out and you'll be like,
Yeah.
Icy.
That's what I do every time I walk outside in the summer.
You know what? And then head right across the street to Schmoozie's
oh, yes. Yeah.
and get a Make Mine Mocha. That freeze is just, it's so good on
Or
a
you can
hot
go
summer
around
day.
the corner and go to Pim's if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Get something over there, some libation. I don't know.
A little libation.
A little something, something.
Literally, it is it's made by Ant-Man, so it's a little libation.
It's like a baby.
A wee libation, if you will. Yes.
No, don't drink wee libation.
No, we don't want that. No, thank you. No. Great suggestions, and certainly when it comes to the nighttime entertainment, of course, even seasonal entertainment, I think of things like the All-American College Band.
Oh my gosh,
they're
yes.
specific through summertime only.
That is
so
also a must.
totally worth it. Yeah, check out All-American College Band over at Disneyland. They also do performances, California Adventure, the Hollywood Backlot stage sometimes, and they move around. So if you happen to be at Disneyland this summer, check out that All-American College Band. You don't want to miss them. What are some of your favorite things to do? What do you do to make the most of summertime at the Disneyland Resort? We would love to hear what you do in our comments. All right, you stick around, y'all. Kingdom Report Live moves along next.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Time for the one thing this week, all about the Walt Disney World Resort, specifically when visiting Walt Disney World. What is the one theme park you choose to visit first? There are 4 theme parks, 2 water parks at Walt Disney World. And when you visit, typically people go for long periods of time, right? Because it's gigantic. So what is the first park you stop at? Today, Katrina Manzoni starts us off with the first park she chooses when visiting O-Town,
Number 1.
Orlando, Lake Buena Vista.
LCO?
O-Town, I like
Look
that.
out. Yeah, O-Town. Remember that boy band, O-Town?
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just brought something. So
Oh.
there's I was doing a
You unlocked
Peloton
a
ride
memory.
and they had an O-Town song and I was like, shut up. And so then I went on this whole O-Town binge and I had to listen to some of their songs again. And then there was a song that made me drop my jaw because I was like, this is raunchy. I remember listening
Oh.
to this when I was a kid. I did not understand it. And now I'm like, this is, whoa.
You used to sing it word for word
Whoa.
as a child.
If I was a parent now, I would have my cup of coffee, be like, what are you guys listening to? And then I would drop it because I'd be in shock.
You kids keep me so young.
I was like, okay, anyway, Look up O-Town and just listen to their songs and you'll know which one. Anyway.
Liquid Dreams. Is it that one?
Oh my God.
Ew.
Yeah. How about that? The things we listen to.
I was typing in the
That's
chat, and that just like permeated my brain, and I was like, "Oh no!"
That was one of their hit songs,
It
everybody.
was?
I'm
Oh my
telling you.
gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail it, but yeah.
O-Town.
Oh,
Whoa.
town, rest in peace.
Oh,
Well,
town.
they were not invited to the Epcot. What is it called? Food festival, music festival thing that they have. BB Mac was though. So
Thank God.
And
Eat
Hanson.
to the beat with
and
O-Town.
Hanson and BB Mac. Let's go. Get out of here, O-Town. Anyway, so my one park that I love to visit first is actually Epcot. So I love Epcot. I think it's a great. It's a park where you can go and actually enjoy it and not feel like you're missing out on a lot of stuff, even if you have like a half day or or what have you. Like so you can, if you want to go on rides, you can go on rides. If you want to eat, you can go and eat. You can do both if you want to. If you come in and you're like, oh, Spaceship Earth's like, walk on, let's go. You go on Spaceship Earth, and then you go get some food, some drinks, and you don't feel like you're missing out. Like if you go to like Magic Kingdom, and it's kind of like an all day thing, and the parking's bad, and Epcot the parking's really nice, so it's just like always like it's our first go-to park. Usually, it's when we like to go to. And then you can just get your tummy ready to keep eating all week. You're gonna be there.
Week.
It's just like it's like a little amuse-bouche. You just go over to the little, the little
cue the
stands
expansion.
and keep eating,
Yeah.
and then you just get your tummy ready to go. You're like, are you ready? All right. And then you
Kick
just
it
keep
into
eating
high
for the rest of
gear.
the week.
Absolutely. Oh, who doesn't love a little Epcot to start things off with, and a place to go get cultured
Yep,
if you need
that's
to.
right.
Oh yeah,
That's for
Very
sure.
all
important.
about culture.
We asked you over on the YouTube community page, what is it that you like to do when you visit Walt Disney World? Where do you stop first? Here's what you had to say. Ken says Magic Kingdom only because we can see it from the Polynesian and ride the monorail. Canceled said, I usually go to Animal Kingdom, then Hollywood, then Magic Kingdom. My family and I don't do Epcot because it's a waste of time.
What?
Canceled,
You're canceled.
Wow.
just like your name.
It's in
That
the
that
name.
is literally. I'm sorry, but that is the wildest thing I have heard today. That Epcot is a waste of time. And very interesting.
I would love to know why canceled.
Give us some
what
more
wastes your time
detail.
over there? Yeah. Jay says Animal Kingdom. It's the best park in the Walt Disney World complex. KB says Epcot is our favorite with a guy wearing glasses emoji.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
don't know.
Nerdy?
they're like because it has a mustache.
He's one of the Marx
so-
brothers, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it looks like they have like that little incognito
Maybe
face. So
maybe
they're, like,
KB's
being
joking.
lying. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
joking.
Epcot is our favorite. Not really. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Abigail says Epcot, do the drinks around the world thing. An actual
Abigail.
goal on my bucket list.
You and I.
A girl after your own heart. Look at that. Jay says, for me, it's always either Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. And T. Swanson says, we do Animal Kingdom and then shift into more late night stuff. So up early for that, and then we do late night extra hours, holiday parties, etc. So we don't get up that early again. Don't start out too late, but Animal Kingdom has such an early open, takes longer to get to, etc., etc. And Tyler, first park, where do you go?
I mean, I'm gonna have like a double answer a little bit. I mean, I do agree with Katrina that for me, my personal favorite park to go to first is Epcot. But I will say, just to have a little bit of a different opinion here, that if you don't get to go to Disney World that often, and it's a rare thing for you, or maybe you're flying in, later in the day and you're only gonna have a half day at one of the parks or something like that. I think that the park right now that has it's got more than two outstanding rides, I think, but just the rides that I really love doing, I would say go to Hollywood Studios first, because I think that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is fantastic, and soon you'll be able to do that in Disneyland, but right now it's only in Disney World. And then also Rise of the Resistance is, I think, if you need to do one, I guess now Cosmic Rewind too, which I haven't been on yet, but I feel like if you have to do one ride in Disney World, Rise of the Resistance, I think, is the ride to do. Like, if you really only had one
Oh,
ride.
It's not Small World.
No.
Ouch.
I mean, maybe in Disneyland, but, only if you jump in the water. But But I just think that it has those outstanding rides, and not to mention like Tower of Terror is also incredible. And again, it's a smaller park, so I think you could do less there and be happy. If you're gonna get, if your airplane doesn't land until later in the day or something like that. And so I would say do Hollywood Studios first, knock it out, then you don't have to go back to that hellscape. And
Wow.
Whoa.
and I think if also something bad happens with like Rise of the Resistance or something, because sometimes that ride does go down and it can mess up your whole day. So maybe you'll have a second opportunity to go later in your trip, if you try and go on your first day. But if you wait till the end to go to Hollywood Studios, then you may miss Rise of the Resistance altogether. And I think again that's by far and away that's the best thing at that park, and that's probably one of the best rides that's ever been made. So
That's actually a good point.
Yeah,
Because it does break a lot.
yeah. So I would say if you don't get to go to Disney World very often, that Hollywood Studios might be your best bet to go to.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We go back to some of your comments here that you left on the community page over at the Kingdom Report on YouTube. Simplicity Lost ends up saying, I choose to get in my car with AC and drive to California to go to Disneyland. But if my car is broken, I guess I'll go to Magic Kingdom before I sweat to death. Well, how about that? Tinkershaw says, I would start with Animal Kingdom since I've never been there. It looks so cool. Tammy says, Epcot, that's really the only one my family wants to go to.
Smart family.
Oh, Tammy knows. And Frozen Free says, Magic Kingdom, of course, Animal Kingdom second, Hollywood Studios third, and Epcot, honestly, it's only for people who want to drink. But the Frozen ride is an absolute must, so Epcot must be visited during the trip.
I think the food is more fun
I
than the
would
drinking,
put
honestly.
food versus drink, but okay.
If you don't like eating, if you don't need to eat, then don't go to Epcot.
If you don't like foods of the world, then I guess it's not your place.
You've been warned.
Staring directly into your soul.
You hear them, Frozen? You hear them?
I can't look at you in the eye. It makes me anxious.
Pink writes, the Magic Kingdom. If one single park represents Disney, that's the one. The Magic Kingdom. There's just something about walking down Main Street and seeing Cinderella's castle. The Crazy Disney Parks fanatic writes, was always Magic Kingdom, but as with the addition of Star Wars Land at Hollywood Studios, it is kind of up there in the mix on deciding which one I want to start first. And DJ says Magic Kingdom. Let me put it this way. The one who gives me the castle is the one who gives me the world. Nothing beats looking up at that castle. Once again, thank you all for participating and sharing your thoughts over at the Kingdom Report community page on YouTube. Sound off on polls. Share your thoughts on our questions that we are always posting there throughout the week. As always, your perspective does matter. And we want to hear down in our comment section on this very video, are you somebody that likes to go to a particular park first? Tell us, when you get to Walt Disney World, which park is your number one to go to kick it all off? We'd love to hear from you. All right, friends, that about wraps up this edition of Kingdom Report Live. I'm shocked, too. Always am. And we want to make sure that you get rewarded for being a part of the broadcast. As always, you can get your very own Kingdom Report mug by leaving the phrase that pays in the comments section underneath this video on our YouTube channel. Following the live video ending, you're able to leave comments underneath it. Once you can leave comments underneath the video, write Peter Pan's Flight in order to be entered to win yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug. We will select a winner Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's how long you have to drop the phrase that pays in the comment section down below. Well, as always, it has been a great joy being a part of your weekend, or no matter when you happen to be listening to this on demand or watching this after the fact. Thank you for taking time out of your life to come and listen to some Disney talk with us. For Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni, I'm Wade Hughes, saying that the legacy of Walt Disney, it lives on because of people like you and me. We'll see you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, for an all-new Kingdom Report Live.